Hey, my name's Natasha Lewis Clark. I live in Las Vegas. I have lived here the second time since February 5th of 2018, so I'll be back for almost 2 years. But I originally moved to Las Vegas back in 2007. Uh, Anybody that knows me knows that Las Vegas is my first love. I've always loved this place. First time I came here, I was 8 years old, and I told my mother I wanted to move here, and she just thought it was crazy. She didn't believe me, but back then Vegas had it was more classy, people dressed up, and there was absolutely nothing that I could do other than go to the water park or circus. But I loved it. My heart was always in Las Vegas. And I came back 10 years later when I graduated high school, and it grew on me even more, and came out here for a girls trip when I was 25 years old, and it was just slowly building up on me like I have to be here. So I finally did move here back in 2007 after I divorced my first husband. And I moved here with my best friend and had the time of my life. I think I had like 4 jobs at one point. It was just everything I thought it would be. And it was like I was on top of the world, and then I just crashed and burned. Like, I got mixed up with this guy. He was crazy. Yeah. He was fucking crazy. And, you know, to put that in a short story, I went to jail for the first time in my life, running around, mixing up with the wrong crowd. Got a record, like, lost all my jobs, lost my car. My daughter had to go back up and live with her dad. Like, I hit bottom in Vegas, like, bottom to the point where I slept outside, like, rock bottom. And, like, I kind of knew from that point, all I can do was go up. But I knew the only way that I would excel or level up, so be it, is I had to leave Vegas. And that brought on anxiety. I never thought anxiety was real. I didn't believe it. I was kind of raised to, be stronger than that, or pray more, or, anything other than what was really happening. And I went to the emergency room, thought I was having a heart attack. Like, it was all anxiety because I had to leave Vegas. Like, I was not doing good. Like, I had roommates, people I didn't know. Just, it was survival at that point. And ultimately, what saved me is I had to kind of create an alter ego because I was dancing. And her name was Divine. And I kind of honed into that alter ego and got sucked into the life of being an exotic dancer. Like, it was to the point where I didn't even respond to my own name. Like, people would be like, Tasha, or Tasha, da da da, and I would just be looking, like, who are they talking to? It got like that deep. And yeah, so I took on this whole new life, Divine, and I was working in like 3 different strip clubs, working my ass off, just so I could go up to Northern California to visit my kids, because their father wasn't going to let them come down with me because he was letting them believe that I was more unstable than I actually was, because he hated me for leaving him and then moving to Las Vegas. He hasn't been back to Las Vegas since I moved out here. He refuses to. It's stupid. Like, we've been divorced since 2009, and yeah, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I created Divine, and she took me to a lot of places, a lot of dark places, a lot of places I never thought I would be. Went out of the country, and it was something about her and being on stage, because I was always someone that loved to be in front of the camera or in front of people growing up. I loved attention. I was in pageants. I wanted to ultimately say I was going to be a star or whatnot. And none of that ever happened because I got married at 19 and had my kids. So I just kind of put all my dreams or whatnot on the back burner. Had my family, was raising my kids. But when I was Divine, when I was in the clubs, especially out here in Vegas, it just gave me that escape, something that I wanted, not necessarily stripping, but fuck it. It was a stage and I didn't have one. So I really honed into that life. And I had to slow down with Divine. I guess I'll say in 2013 when I moved to Elko. I left Las Vegas because I had to get out. It was just being too wild. So I left and went to dance in this club in Elko, Nevada. And I danced there for about almost a year. And I met my second husband there in the strip club. And I stopped dancing. And I got a square job at the Hilton, was able to get a regular job and get back on my feet because I had a record out here in Las Vegas. So there was no chance of getting a regular job. And I tried. That's why I started dancing. But in Elko, they didn't know me, So I got a square job and it felt like I was just dying there. It felt like I got my shit together and I wasn't wilding out. I got engaged after dating this guy for a couple years and I was getting back on track, but I hated it there. I was like maybe 1 out of 30 black people that were there. And I stand out, so it was the wrong kind of attention that I wanted, that I was getting there. And just kind of killed off Divine and just left her alone, threw my clothes away, all that, and just pretended to be happy because I was doing better as far as my finances and my personal life. But I started missing Las Vegas. I got a call for a casting call out here, and that was like my one shot to present it to my husband and be like, look, I need to move on. I need to get out of this town. Let's do this together. Support me on making this happen. And it took me about 1.5 years, but he finally came around, and I started putting in a transfer with my job, and I got it and moved back to Vegas and felt like I was released from prison. Like it was the happiest time 2 years ago to be back here. And my husband came about 6 months after me coming back here. And all my dancer friends started hitting me back up, and they're like, hey, you want to hang out? You look great. Are you interested in dancing again? And I just kind of told them I'm leaving that life behind. I kind of wanted to work on modeling, and I went to school to be a stylist. And I was lying. I was lying to myself. Like, I didn't want to come back out here and keep my square job and not get back into that life. And so maybe 1 year after being here, I quit my job as a manager at TJ Maxx. And I started pursuing modeling, and I got hired back at the Crazy Horse. That recently just happened. And my husband now, he says he's okay with it, and he wants me to bring in extra money and blah, blah, blah. And you can just tell he's very territorial. You can just tell that he's not going to be okay with it. But the thing is now is I want to do it, and he's not the greatest husband. Like, this marriage is a total bust now. Not what he said it was going to be, not what I thought it was going to be. So at this point, I'm just taking what he said I can do, and I'm just running with it. And at this point, he's just gonna have to accept what the hell he told me I can do, or we're just not gonna make it. But I don't care. I'm getting sick and tired of playing wife. Divine never liked being a wife, and I feel more of her kind of wanting to come out and play, so to speak. And I'm just done being square. So like ultimately being back with my first love is kind of waking me up, which is Vegas, of course, and it's waking me up and making me realize that, I've been trying to be something that I'm not, and this is where I need to be, and I'm just making moves. I want to have property and cities surrounding here. In like Southern California. I love Southern California. I go out there for work. Somewhere in the South, closer to my mother. She's in Alabama. But ultimately, no. I'm here. I'll travel. I love traveling. But this place caters to me. It's open 24/7. I have insomnia. There's always something to do. I don't want to leave it, and I don't plan on it.